Hello, welcome to episode 58 of the Islanders podcast. My name is James. This is part 2 of our interview with A-Hua-Sai, the famous pop writer who is promoting Taiwanese in Taiwan. And we also have part 1. If you haven't checked that out, be sure to listen to that. And so this is part 2. Please enjoy. Okay, so let's talk about pop rice. Okay. So you're actually a pop writer. Mm-hmm. That's one of your job titles.
Yep, I am.
And then you sell this kind of pop rice in our school. During the weekends we have a
markets,
farmers market.
Yep.
And then you sell this kind of snack here at the market.
Yep.
So do you want to explain to our audience what pop rice is?
Well, okay, we have this machine which is basically a empty steel ball, and so if you lock some rice inside it and put it and heat it really hot, as soon as the pressure reaches 10 times the atmospheric pressure. Well, difficult word. Okay, and at this moment you open it, you hear a bang. And this really depressurization in a very short time, brings those rice grains to a much larger volume, like 60 or 70 times than they originally were. They became like puffy, crispy.
So like rice crisps, rice puffs.
And then you boil some maltose syrup to be stirred together with the puffed rice. And as soon as they cooled down, they became like really crunchy, soft, puffy, crispy.
A little bit like granola bars. I would say it like that. So it's use like the syrup, maltose syrup.
Well, the thing before the syrup, I used to call the thing before the syrup, just the pop rice part is Taiwanese cereal, according to myself.
Taiwanese cereal, yeah, definitely, because it's made from rice, and it's crispy, and then you can eat it as breakfast.
Yep, you can.
Yeah, it's very
but tasteless.
It's very nutritional. Very nutritional. But
healthy but tasteless.
You add sugar and then you add soy sauce into this kind of pop rice, and then you can eat it like a bar, right? It's like it's like a granola bar.
It's actually the whole process of like waiting for the boom is quite interesting. I found that in my experience.
You ask any Taiwanese people above 50, pop rice is part of their childhood.
I think there's one of a pop rice stand in my house in Taipei. In Taiwan, and there's one the old man just make all the process, and we're kids we're like waiting for the boom sound and then get the pop rice from the pop ricer.
And what's coolest about the pop ricer is you make it almost into like a show, right? So before the boom, maybe you hype the audience up, tensed up. So do you think that helps in your pushing Taiyi to people?
Yeah, sure. No, pop rice itself?
Do you think that is a method that you
partially maybe? I think it helped my public image. I've been doing something that is deeply connected with Taiwan in the old times, and at the same time, I'm preaching for local languages. That's a plus.
So it helps with your brand image. Let's say that. So you're a protector of traditional Taiwanese culture.
Well, I'm trying to.
And with that, with Taiyi, and also, actually, you can sell the pop rice to kids, right? And then if they like it, maybe they learn Taiyi from you a little bit, Do you do that? Do you talk to kids? And
I said that in a farmer's market in NCTU that any kid who is able to make the purchase, any kid under 7 years old who is able to make the purchase in a local language, be it Hakka or Taiwanese or any indigenous language that I might not understand, you get a discount.
Cool.
That's a very cool way to get kids
anyone under 7 with the local language.
That's very interesting. So did you have any kids order like with very fluent Taiyi before?
From my friends,
So teach them while they're very little.
We're having this. Well, if you translate this thing into English, it's going to seem very, very weird. Mother tongue families.
Yeah. Okay.
Mother tongue families.
And what is that?
Just a group of people who is so determined to teach their kids into someone who can speak the parents' mother tongues. And such families here in Taiwan, in Mandarin, we call them mother tongue families, which is a really strange word if you put it in English.
It's a weird concept in English because like you assume the mother tongue is the language that you learn naturally when you're in a family. But in Taiwan, we have to add this extra, type of, you have to do this extra. And
because so many kids, like 90%, more than 90% of the kids are now having their mother tongue with having Mandarin as their mother tongue only.
Definitely.
But we're like mistaken with the concepts of local languages and mother tongues.
And we also don't have the environment for them to learn Taiwanese, right?
Yeah.
Because once they go to kindergarten, once they go to primary school,
because
a lot of they only speak Mandarin in schools.
Yeah,
I think most of them, above 90% of them,
teachers are not even fluent in any of the local languages.
And also, I think the education of all those teachers are in Mandarin. So they cannot. I think they don't have the ability to teach.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Education in Taiwan has been designed as a path to abandon your mother tongue.
Yeah, because we all almost treat Taiwanese as another language. Like we treat it the same way we treat English. We make it like if you speak Taiwanese, you're bilingual. We assume that you already know Mandarin, and that is quite wrong, right?
Yeah,
it's like wrong. Foreign language of Taiwanese people.
Yeah, just everyone is still having this kind of assuming that everyone in Taiwan should and can speak Mandarin. Yeah, that is so wrong.
Yeah.
So do you have any plans? I heard you had plans of how this might be fixed. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Like short-term plans, how would you try to fix it?
Yeah,
I mean that's quite interesting
treat it as an imagination.
Well,
it's okay.
I have a pattern of how I want things to happen, but I can't call it a plan. It's just too unrealistic. Okay, first thing is just to get everyone to accept this concept that Taiwanese can die.
Okay. Yeah.
This is not common sense yet. But it is going to die. It is unstoppably. It is unstoppably dying.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you tell this to like anyone above 60, they would say bullshit.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I can understand this concept.
So you want to talk a little bit more?
When these older people are living their daily life, they're still talking to their friends in pure Taiwanese.
Yeah,
they just stop doing so to their grandkids, and they don't think it's a big deal. Yeah. They don't think this is killing the language, but it is.
Yeah.
So like for me, my experience, my grandparents are fluent native Taiwanese speakers. And I think their communities are very separated from like younger people, even if my parents' generation. So they don't they won't feel like Taiwanese will be something going to be died in like several years, because all of the communities, they talk in Taiwanese. But like in my parents' generation, they won't have the concept that Taiwanese is going to die, because they are transferred into like Mandarin using community in their own life. So they have transferred. So they won't even care more about Taiwanese is dying. So I think I feel I have that feeling very strongly. So is that in different generation in my own family, like we have language separation inside it. So I can. It's also the motivation I started to like practicing Taiwanese by myself, because
like the older people, they don't have this concept of preserving Taiwanese.
Yeah, no, they don't,
and they also don't see that Taiwanese is slowly dying.
They just refuse to believe so.
Yeah, and so when we are educating our next generation or this generation about Taiyi, maybe we also have to talk to communicate with our past to older generations, and then to let everybody realize that Taiyi is something that we have to protect.
Yep.
In the future, and it's not only, it is part of Taiwan.
Well,
we couldn't just
this is the first
eradicate
step.
that. Yeah.
Well, looks like easy, but a very big one to get everyone aware of the local languages dying.
Yeah.
So if that can be done, I think that's going to take 5 to 10 years. Yeah. But I personally think all the local languages will be dead after 50 or 60 years. So 10 years is a big price to pay. Okay, so after that, if we can get everyone aware that local languages are dying, the next thing we can do is, I think, make all the kindergartens free of Mandarin.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because it's easier to start from kindergarten because there is nothing really nothing intellectual that needs to be given to the kids.
No academic pressure.
Yep.
Yeah. So you could very easily speak to kids in Taiwan when they're in kindergarten. Because maybe
chopsticks,
at home,
a ball, and wash your butt, and everything. Those are all the words that have been in Taiwanese for the past 400 years.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but when it comes to like physics or chemistry, how do I say this?
You need to build like a group of people to dedicate themselves to translating this kind of educational material.
It's already happening.
Oh, that's already happening. Yeah, that's very good. In one of your videos, this is a question I wanted to ask you. I heard you use the term Taiwaner.
Yep.
Taiwaner compared to Taiwanese, which is the more generally accepted way of talking about Taiwan people in the international world.
You use the word Hong Kongers, don't you?
Hong Kongers, yeah, definitely. Or Cantonese, which is their original, the part of China they're at, Canton. So what is the reasoning behind that? Why did you use Taiwaner compared to Taiwanese? Is there a difference in that?
Taiwanese, because I usually use the word Taiwanese for referring to this language and the people who speak it.
Yeah.
So having done that, I need another word to refer to all the people on this island, including Hakka people and indigenous people.
Okay. So because that is kind of a cool thing that I noticed when you use Taiwaner, because there was a discussion before in international communities that if they're like Vietnamese or Taiwanese, it's actually a sort of like it's not very good. It's
in what sense?
It's like a lower level way of talking about
a few years ago, I heard from a friend of mine saying that niche people are always lower class, and niche people are higher class people.
That was a really serious
English.
English. Okay.
Because that's a really serious discussion in a few years back when I saw this article, which was
so why did they make those words like with a difference of ish and niche?
Like, I don't really know, to be honest. But I do believe that there might be some like racial separation that caused this kind of
remains
name
from
calling.
that era.
Because like most of the people who named this kind of who named this in English.
So
they were racist back then. 100% sure they were racist back then.
So we might as well use this new word, Taiwanese.
Taiwanese. We can call us anything we want. And that is the point that I want to make. So you've also been making a lot of YouTube content recently.
Not as much as I expected to.
It's really hard, right? Because you have to edit it takes a long time, and then you also have in Taiwan
you have to guess what people like.
Guess what people like, and that's what I want to talk about. And also in Taiwan, there's a very bad habit of Taiwanese people.
They need subtitles.
Always need subtitles. That is very, very annoying and
and time consuming, and that's boring.
Something that we kind of want to change because if you have subtitles, you only focus on the subtitles. Let's be honest. And so let's talk about your
it's
YouTube.
Already much easier with English. YouTube, you can use like auto-generated subtitles from YouTube.
Subtitles, definitely.
But never in Taiwanese. Even Google cannot understand Taiwanese now.
But slowly. I think building a language, building a written language around Taiyi is the next step to more popularizing it, and then using AI to learn more stuff about that. But let's talk about your YouTube channel. So you do stuff like English and Taiyi, like bilingual, duolingo news. So what was that about?
What was that about? Well, it was actually a very stupid idea, just to tell people that you can translate English to Taiyi and vice versa. Stupid, right?
No, but it's a very new concept, which people have never seen before, and it is a push to make Taiwanese more academic, to make it more like
More
a language,
connected
more
to-
a general use
yeah.
language rather than just colloquially, right?
Yeah, and that's one of the reason that I think why people liked me in the first upon seeing those videos with me speaking Taiwanese and English at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, because Taiwanese was such a low class language, and English is so high above.
Yeah,
High class,
yeah.
All the
Somebody-
parents want kids to learn English.
Yeah.
That's even more than Chinese, even more
So
than
that's
Mandarin.
that's a really strong contrast.
yeah.
So like in Taiwan, some parents will ask their children to go to like bilingual kindergartens or even
And
like
by that bilingual, they always mean
Mandarin
and English.
English. Yeah.
Well, but my bilingual would be Taiwanese and English.
Yeah.
Oh, that is very. I think we should really just keep pushing that.
Yeah.
And so, do you have any experience in like how to strike a balance between like your content that you want to make and the content that you think your audience wants to see? So how do you balance this kind of?
I've been thinking about that topic, but I haven't really had enough chance to do experiments with videos. But I have tried something with writing.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Because video is much higher cost. Of course, you'll know something about that. So with my writing I'm talking about the Facebook fan page writing. I tried to minimize my criticism on ROC government.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, I tried to do that because when people are swiping through Facebook, they not very much of not okay, not a lot. Okay, I'm a little bit
blanking a little bit,
Yeah.
but it's fine. We do this also all the time. Not a lot of people.
Okay. When people are just swiping through Facebook, they don't want to see that much criticism. They want to see something funny. They want to see something helps them relax.
Interesting.
Yeah, like entertainment content.
Yeah.
entertaining
So I
content.
try to bring up or repost people's interesting things or funny things. Upon which I just add a line or two comment in Taiwanese.
Oh, okay. That's
I tried to
cool
do that
way
with
to implement that.
Yeah,
But
so
we all know that you cannot really talk about the history of Taiyi without criticizing
Yeah,
the ROC
yeah,
government.
yeah.
Yep, that's true.
You can't really do that. It is tied together.
Yeah, so it's like make some Taigi meme, or like something like that. Yeah,
Making it more shareable, and then through little bits, which I've noticed since for a couple of years when we were freshmen in college, there weren't so many Taiwanese content on Facebook. But slowly, as we went through college, we noticed that a few of our friends, they started getting into.
Can it be just your warm bubble?
Yeah, it could be also, but definitely when I started college, there wasn't so many people. There weren't so many people doing that.
Definitely.
And you could say it's a bubble, but still, more and more people are starting to get into
something
this.
to get to this bubble.
Yeah.
You have to
starting
get
into
bubble.
this. People are doing like
if we get back to that Mr. Rocket, he started doing these Taiwanese movements like 20 years ago when he was still in America. Well, that was a time that you can be very assured that there were not more than 1,000 people who is literate in Taiwanese.
Yeah.
That's cool. So I think if talking about Taiwanese stuff, there's another thing we have to mention is that many people in Taiwan, they don't think Taiwanese is able to be written,
or they don't think we should do it.
Yeah. So I think the problem is that many people think like Taiwanese, they don't have words. We can write it down. Just can't. It's just a colloquial. It's just
it's a spoken language, not a written language.
Yeah.
And so people are pushing this kind of romanization of Taiyi, right?
Yeah.
Well, all the natural languages on Earth started as a spoken only language.
Yeah.
Well, that's true with every language. Well, and unless you're talking about like J.J. Tolkien's how he created the elfin language. That would be a language that is born together with the writing system. But that's not true with all the natural languages.
So all the natural languages, they could be spoken, so they could be written. And the same is with Taiyi, right?
Yeah.
And so recently we're also pushing the romanization of Taiyi. Trying to write write Taiwanese with basically English characters.
Yeah.
Along
Latin
with
characters.
Roman
Roman,
accents.
Latin characters.
with accents, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so how is that going for you? Like
For me,
is it
well, I picked up
easy
pretty
to pick
easily.
up? Yeah.
I personally picked up really easy. It is not well. I don't know how to say that wording in English. It is like easier than how we learned to 注音符号的英語意思。
There's actually a system of
an alphabet system that we use to
pronounce
Mandarin. Write Mandarin characters.
Yeah.
So Mandarin characters, they're very very complex characters. And then so what we do is we spell out the sounds of the character with a special vocabulary.
Yep.
Yeah. So
the Latinized writing of Taiwanese cannot be harder than that because you can already speak Taiwanese. You just need to pick up which alphabet means what.
Yeah. Okay. So that's pretty good that a lot of people are doing that right now. Pushing
more and more
a romanization of Taiwanese and.
From the okay.
We will do that again.
Okay.
Okay. Where do we start?
It's very good that people are pushing the romanization of Taiwanese because it makes it easier to share, right? Easier to share with other people.
Well, that writing system started 150 years ago, so it actually has
a long time.
It actually has a much longer history than the writing system of Mandarin.
Wow.
注音符号.
So I think most Taiwanese people don't even know about this.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
And another thing that they don't know is the first newspaper in Taiwanese history was in Taiwan.
Okay.
So actually, Taiwanese people is having a quite special case in their historical phase changing between government and another government. So
it's a weird situation how Taiwanese progressed here in Taiwan.
Yeah. So in 100 years ago,
with other countries, it's different to find parallels in other different cultures. And so that is why we need to work extra hard to fight this kind of phenomenon here in Taiwan.
We're a little bit like Ireland.
Yeah.
Well, sitting next to a very strong and bullying neighbor.
Yeah. Trying to preserve our own language and culture.
One last thing I want to ask you before you go is how do you speak English so well?
Well, all the people are asking this question, and I don't really know how to answer. But I just basically taught myself. I was in Australia for 1 year during the working holidays, but that 1 year didn't really help much with the vocabulary or the grammar or anything. It just helped with my okay, bravery. Are we using that word?
That takes a lot of.
It made me not afraid of speaking. But I cannot really recall much special thing that I did with learning English. Okay, there was this one thing. I never write down any Mandarin word on my English textbook.
Yeah.
That was one thing. And the second thing is. For the last 2 years in my university, when I was in university, I rent some DVDs and watched them with double subtitles, Mandarin and English.
And English.
That's all.
Well, that's very impressive. How you got to speaking so fluently, and so I think that's all the time we have for today.
Okay,
we're very happy that you came here to
thank you,
accept this interview. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to our full interview with A-Hua-Sai, the famous pop writer who refuses to speak Mandarin. Me and Yan had a lot of fun recording this episode and exchanging ideas with him, and overall it was a very enjoyable experience. So thank you for listening, and be sure to follow us on our social media, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Spotify, and all that, and we'll see you next week. Bye.